The following is a paid program.
Hello, I'm Jonathan Mann at the CNN.
Hello and welcome to BBC World News. We have breaking news.
We've got breaking news now live.
And there's more breaking news coming in here.
Nurses are concerned for their safety.
Where we saw the outbreak in the hot zones right now, no street.
Provide FAM with state-of-the-art treatment. Meanwhile, dozens of nurses from all over the nation gather.
Outbreak, of course, because we've had this botched response from the CDC, it seems. The first two cases.
Should we worry here?
Well, we shouldn't worry here, but we should be concerned and take this outbreak seriously because it is now, as the World Health Organization has already declared.
It's something that could affect all of us and our children. Scientists from the World Health Organization have been reviewing studies for the last week or so.
Right, we're seeking a response from the CTIA, which is the industry group.
Where did it come from? Why is it spreading? Can anyone stop it? And is there a cure?
This disease is raging. Our medical experts tell us that the best way to stop this disease is to stop it at its source, before it spreads even wider and becomes even more difficult to contain.
Senioritis is it's a terrifying disease that's taking the school by storm. Grade 12, one by one, they're falling victims.
Senioritis is a condition that most grade 12s suffer from.
Senioritis to me is the lack of motivation on the part of our senior students who have either got accepted into the program of choice or have other plans for themselves after high school.
Everybody's talking about senioritis, especially after March break. Like, oh, 3 more months, we got this. Senioritis.
Well, senioritis, I believe, is usually second semester grade 12s, and this is when the lethargy sinks in. There's nothing that teachers can do to engage students. They're just, essentially, they're done, and they just need the end of June to come as quickly as possible.
You just feel like not doing anything. You don't want to do your homework. You don't want to do assignments. You don't want to do your projects. You just want to go home, sit there, and do nothing.
It can be really good and relaxing, or it can cost you your university acceptances.
I feel like I'm procrastinating more. I don't usually procrastinate, but I feel like I am. I'm not stressing as much. I'm like, oh, whatever. I'll do it later. Oh, whatever. It's okay if it went horribly.
Yeah, one of my friends doesn't even care about school anymore. He doesn't even show up to class anymore, so I think he got his acceptance quite early on. And then, yeah, he doesn't show up to class. He doesn't even give a anymore.
A lot of empty desks and a very echoey, empty classroom.
And what happens rather than any kind of focused work, any kind of even focused group participation in anything directed by some kind of grown-up in the building, what happens is a lot of maudlin, emotional, and hand-holding, close sitting that goes on while each other's books get looked at, pored over in the years. Events get reimagined.
Beginning of grade 12, everyone's like, I'm so ready. I gotta be serious this year, and like there's university on the line this year. There's actually something that is worth trying for. But as the year goes by, you hear more and more comments going on, and they're like, no, whatever. I give up, and it's just, I don't give up. I don't care anymore. So I suffer from senioritis for sure. I only come to school for 1 period a day now, because I have co-op in the morning and lunch, calculus, then I dropped physics fifth because I didn't feel it anymore. I didn't want to do it anymore. So that's what it is.
It actually differs from the beginning of the school year to the second of the school year. I say that kids come in eager to go, but as soon as those university acceptances come in, that's it. So you see, they want their letters, they want to get everything in, they come in eager, they're ready to go, they want to be accepted, but usually around this time of year, it's futile because they know where they're going, they know what they want to do or what they're not going to be doing, and it's just downhill from there. June is by far the worst. You're trying to engage your students, you're trying to be the best teacher that you can be, and there's nothing that you can do to get them stimulated. So you try to tell jokes, you try to keep things moving, you try to zip up the pace of the course, block things into activities, but really there's essentially nothing that you can do because it's an intrinsic thing and you're seniors who are suffering from the itis.
Very recently, that has happened. It is not a myth. Schools will stand by their conditional offers where there's a certain average that is required to be maintained in order for their acceptance to be continued, and students would then have to do summer school to actually get the grade that they needed to be accepted into their university program.
The only person that comes to mind for not having senioritis is probably our president, Gary Lee. He's so hardworking, he does everything. He probably doesn't suffer from senioritis, but other than that, I'm pretty sure all the grade 12s, grade 10s, grade 9s, grade 11s, they all probably suffer from senioritis because senioritis does not only hit seniors, it hits everybody.
Senioritis is probably, I think it's the ultimate in looking ahead. Students already think they're in university and they just stop working. I had a student hand in a series of nursery rhymes as their independent study because they just didn't care anymore. And I guess they thought maybe I had senioritis too and I wasn't going to read it, but of course I did, and they failed.
I had heard of senioritis. There was one instance in grade 11. I was talking to an elder student in grade 12, and she told me she fell victim to senioritis. And I thought of the terrible consequences it could bring. After receiving my acceptances, I too fell victim to senioritis. My grades have suffered maybe 3 to 5% of a drop, and unfortunately that drop is not stopping.
And what it makes me think about is the fact that what you're calling senioritis, I think probably has many causes. But I wonder if what's also going on is the fact that it is spring. Spring makes you behave a little bit differently, I think. It's also the time after we've had so many months already. Let's count them from September all the way to what? We're thinking this starts happening in late April, perhaps. It's a long time of focused work already. Maybe it's not just about this acceptance. Maybe it has to do with just the fact that it's sunny outside and we're fed up with doing the sort of learning that happens here in classrooms and even in this lovely space.
I thought as a young, smart individual, I did not think I would fall victim to senioritis, but just like anybody, I was susceptible.
Well, I think motivation is definitely something that each of us needs to find from within. It's not something that is an extrinsic type of experience. So I would say that everybody needs to look at what they're trying to do with themselves in their life and move from there.